Tonight I will show you why a single sentence spoken from the deep of your being can rearrange the facts of your world. Not tomorrow, not someday, tonight. You have said many words in your life. You have prayed, begged, pleaded, wished. You have cried out, why is it not changing? And I tell you, it was not the world that ignored you. It was the state from which you spoke. You are not a beggar in this universe. You are not a servant of circumstances. You are the operant power. Say that softly to yourself. I am the operant power. Let it land. Let it disturb you. Let it comfort you. Because if you are the operant power, it means one terrifying, glorious thing. There is no other cause. Imagination in you is the only creative center of your life. Not the economy, not your past, not other people, not chance. Every state you have occupied has cast its shadow as your experience. States are invisible, but their fruits are visible. And tonight we are not polishing the fruit. Tonight we are changing the root. You have come to the end of trying to fix the outer. You have come to the end of chasing effects. You are done knocking on locked doors. Tonight you stand at the inner door and you realize the key has always been in your own hand. I say to you, what you firmly assume in imagination with feeling, with persistence, must harden into fact. It must. Not because of luck, not because of effort, because this is law, eternal, impersonal, exact. So tonight, you will not speak as one who hopes. You will speak as one who decrees. Before we say anything, I want you to grow still. Move nothing if you can. Let the body rest exactly where it is. You may close your eyes now. If you do not close them in the body, then close them inwardly. Withdraw attention from the room, from the day, from the noise of memory. You have listened to many voices today, the world shouting its opinions, your fears whispering their old stories. Now you listen to one voice, the I in you. This I is not small, this I is not broken, this I is not at the mercy of facts. Facts are only frozen assumptions, shadows of former states. Say quietly within yourself, not as a question but as a recognition, I am. Do not add anything yet, just feel I am, without name, without title, without problem, pure being, silent awareness, the unseen root of everything in your world. From this I am, all things arise. Every identity is a garment you have placed upon this I. I am poor. I am sick. I am unwanted. You have worn these garments so long that you thought they were your skin. But tonight you will learn to undress. You are not your lack. You are not your past. You are not your habits. You are the one who says, I am. And whatever follows those two words must seek expression. You may have said, I am desperate. I am stuck. And life, obedient as a mirror, reflected it. Tonight we will say something different. We will say it from a different depth. We will say it as law, not as wish. But first you must understand, imagination creates reality, not helps, not influences, creates. You imagine a scene, and if you accept it as true, if you feel it as done, if you return to it with quiet faith, it crystallizes. The outer world is just your inner world slowed down enough for you to experience it with your senses. So when I tell you to say this tonight, I do not mean mere words. Words without feeling are empty husks. What matters is the assumption, the inner acceptance, the feeling of already being the one you speak of. Assumption hardens into fact. Feeling is the secret. State is everything. You do not get what you want. You get what you are. A man once told me he was down to his last dollar. He had tried everything in the outer world, applications, calls, favors. Nothing moved. He said, I feel like a beggar in my own life. I asked him, in the silence of night, what do you say of yourself? He said, I tell myself I am broke. I tell myself nothing works. I tell myself it is too late. I said, then your world is innocent. It is only showing you your nightly confession. He asked, what should I do? I told him, do not think of money. Think from money. Do not imagine yourself trying to get. Imagine yourself already having. When you go to sleep, do not review your troubles. Lay in bed and see with inner vision your wallet thick, your bank account full, the relief and gratitude of one who has more than enough. Say within yourself, I am lavishly supplied. All that I need, I have. All that I desire, I am. Say it until the feeling becomes real, then sleep in that feeling. He did. Every night he pushed aside the fear, not by fighting it, but by gently turning away from it and back to the inner picture of abundance. He felt the weight of money in his hand. He imagined checking his account and smiling. He heard people congratulating him. You're doing so well. Within a short time, a stranger from years ago contacted him with an offer. A forgotten connection opened a channel of income he had not even considered. Work came, opportunities multiplied, and the last dollar story silently died. What changed? Not the world first. The man changed. He stopped being the one who said, I am broke, and began to be the one who said, I am provided for. The one you are in imagination is the one the world must mirror. It must. Tonight, you will say something. You will say it as that man finally did, from the end. If you desire wealth, you will not say, I want money. You will not say, I hope things improve. You will say, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am the effortless flow of supply. And you will feel what that means. You will feel the lightness, the safety, the quiet luxury of being the one who always has enough and more. Let us walk there now. Again, become still inside. See yourself not as you have been, but as you choose to be. You are in a room that is clearly yours. Notice its richness, the furniture, the colors, the textures, nothing loud, nothing desperate, just a sense of quiet opulence. You go to a drawer or perhaps a safe and you open it, see stacks of notes, see numbers in your mind associated with your accounts, numbers that once would have seemed impossible. You touch the money, you feel its crispness or softness, you smell it, if you like. You hear the faint sound of paper moving. Most importantly, you feel the emotion of the one who knows. This is normal for me. This is who I am. I am the one who is provided for. Feel it. Let the body relax as if no bill could disturb you. Breathe as one who lives in sufficiency. And now in that feeling, say within yourself slowly as if each word is carved in light, I am wealth. I am the flow of abundance. I am lavishly supplied in ways I do not yet see. Do not ask how. The bridge of incidents is not your concern. Life will rearrange itself. People, events, ideas, chance meetings, these are just pieces moving to honor your inner decree. You do not order the details, you inhabit the end. Not someday, not maybe. Now, you may say, but my outer world denies this. My accounts, my debts, they scream otherwise. I tell you, appearances are shadows of old states. You are seeing the echo, not the source. Do not worship the echo. Do not bow to the shadow. Return to the inner fact. You have said, I am wealth, and if you abide in that assumption, the echo must change. Now, some of you long not only for wealth, but for love. You say, I want this person, or I want to be wanted, or I want to be chosen. You wait for someone outside to decide your worth. But the law does not begin out there. The world is yourself pushed out. Every person in your life is reflecting some aspect of your assumed identity. If you feel unwanted within, you will meet indifference outside. If you feel treasured within, you will meet devotion. A woman once came heartbroken. She said, he left, he ignores me, he does not speak, I cannot let him go. I asked, tell me, when you are alone at night, what do you see? How do you speak to him in your imagination? She said, I see him with someone else. I see myself crying. I tell him in my mind, why don't you love me? Why did you leave? I told her, you are rehearsing abandonment. You are praying from the state of rejection. The law can only say amen to your inner picture. Stop begging him. Stop chasing the phantom. Instead, go silently inward and assume that you are now the chosen, cherished, adored partner. Do not imagine the struggle of getting him back. Imagine only the scene that would imply it is already done. She agreed. Each night she lay in bed and closed her eyes. She did not see him turning away. She saw him beside her. She felt the weight of his arm across her. She heard his voice, soft and certain, saying, I am so glad you are mine. She felt the warmth of being wanted. She did not ask how. She did not wonder if it was possible. She simply dwelt in the feeling of already being loved. Over time, outer facts began to shift. He reached out. Old conflicts dissolved in improbable ways. But more importantly, she noticed something profound. Even before he appeared, she no longer felt like the abandoned one. She had changed her inner name from unwanted to beloved. And life obediently began to honor that new identity. If you want love, do not think of love. Think from love. Tonight in the silence you may say, I am loved, I am chosen, I am delightful to be with, I am the one for whom it is easy to commit. Do not wait for a message on a screen to grant you this identity. Assume it now. Feel the warmth of it. You are not waiting on them. They are waiting on you to change your inner story. Some of you carry a heavy story in the body. You have a diagnosis. You have pain. You have been told, this is how it is. You have rehearsed that story 1,000 times. I am sick. I am broken. My body cannot. The body is a loyal servant. It obeys the image held in imagination. I say this not to blame you, but to free you. If an old image has bound you, a new image can liberate you. If an old assumption has hardened as illness, a new assumption can soften it into health. A man once said he could hardly walk without pain. Every step reminded him of his condition. He had accepted the label as his identity. I told him, for a short time each night, forget the body as it is. In imagination, see yourself moving easily, running if you like, climbing stairs with delight. Feel the ease, the lightness. Hear the sound of your own laughter as one who has forgotten the old pain. He protested, "But that is not the fact." I said, "No, it is not the present fact. It is the new fact as yet unseen. You must live there first within. The outer will follow." He persisted. He did not try to visualize all day. He chose a few sacred moments at night just before sleep when the mind is soft and open. There, in that twilight, he became another man. He walked freely in imagination. He felt gratitude as if the healing were already accomplished. Gradually, the outer flesh began to obey the inner car. Amant's strength returned, pain lessened, then vanished. Do not ask me how. The bridge of incidents belonged to the law, not to him. Perhaps changes in lifestyle, new doctors, surprising opportunities arose. But all these were only the outer mask of an inner shift. The world is yourself pushed out. When you change the inner self, the outer mirror must reflect it. Tonight, if the body troubles you, I ask you to visit in imagination a scene that implies complete well-being. Do not imagine the process of getting better. Imagine yourself already healthy. Hear the doctor say, "All is well, you are perfectly fine." Feel the relief, feel the joy. Stand in front of a mirror in your mind and see a bright, strong, radiant version of you smiling. Now in that feeling, say within, "I am whole, I am life, I am the ease and strength of perfect health." Say it, not as a plea, but as a decree. Again, you do not command the outer details. You do not decide whether it comes by medicine, by time, by unknown means. You have only one holy task: live in the end. Now, there is another sacred power you must know: revision. You think the past is fixed. You think the wound that happened cannot be changed. But you forget that the only place the past exists is in imagination. You carry scenes of betrayal, humiliation, failure, as if they are sacred texts. You rehearse them, recite them, tell them as your life story. And each time you do, you reactivate their state. You keep wearing the same garment. Revision is the act of going back in imagination to a painful scene and rewriting it. You do not lie to yourself, you free yourself. If in childhood you were told you are worthless, you may now close your eyes and return to that room. See it, feel the air, hear the tone. But this time in imagination, something different happens. The voice that once wounded you now speaks blessing. You hear, "You are precious, you are capable, you are deeply loved." You watch the child, you light up, you change the script. Do this not casually but reverently. You are redeeming your own past. A woman once lived with the story, "I am always rejected." She traced it back to a moment when her parent walked out in anger saying, "I am done with you." She repeated that scene in her mind for years, reinforcing it. When she discovered revision, she closed her eyes and returned there. She saw the parent turn, not away but towards her. In imagination they said, "I was wrong. I am so proud of you. I will never abandon you." She let herself feel the embrace she never had physically. She wept. But this time the tears washed away the old identity. Then something curious happened. Without forcing anything, her present relationships began to soften. People apologized for old coldness. New, kinder people entered her life. The world again was only reflecting the revised inner scene. Do not underestimate this power. Your past, revised in imagination, creates a new present. You may say tonight, "All that once seemed against me now stands for me. My past is redeemed. My story is blessed." Say it, fee. It. Let the old film in your mind be edited by love. Now another principle. Do not ask how. You want wealth, you want love, you want health, you want freedom. Immediately the mind jumps to plans, timelines, logic. How will this happen? Through whom? By what method? This anxious questioning is the language of doubt. It is the state of not yet. The law does not need your blueprint. It needs your end. The bridge of incidents, the chain of events that leads from where you are to where you assume yourself to be, is not your job. You do not build the bridge. You find yourself walking it. A man once imagined owning his own flourishing business. He held the feeling of being an established, successful owner. Employees, clients, a steady flow of income. He had no money to start, no clear path. If he had obsessed over how, he would have strangled the seed. Instead, he simply lived each night in the end. He saw himself in an office that belonged to him. He heard himself answering the phone. "Yes, this is my company." He felt the satisfaction. Then, in his waking life, little doors opened. He was offered a position in a small firm. He took it. From there, he gained skills, met partners, learnt the field. Years later, a partner suggested they start their own operation. Investors appeared at the perfect time. What once seemed impossible formed itself through a series of ordinary events. From the outside, it looked like hard, logical progress. From within, he knew it was the bridge of incidents. He had not forced these connections. They arose as if life itself were conspiring to justify his assumption. When you live in the end, life weaves the in-between. So tonight you will not worry about process. You will not ask, how can this be, seeing that I have no support, no education, no time? You will say only, because I have assumed it, it must be. Because I am now that, the way will appear. And you will rest in that. There will be moments when nothing seems to move. Bills still arrive. The person still behaves the same. The body still aches. In those moments, do not be discouraged. The outer world is slow. It is thick. It lags behind. You are seeing the tail of the old dragon, not the birth of the new. Hold your inner state gently, faithfully. You do not need to strain. You need only to return to the end again and again until it feels more real than the present fact. At first, it may feel like pretending. Later, it will feel like remembering. Remember this. Persistence is not desperate effort. It is quiet loyalty to your chosen state. If you have declared, I am wealth, and fear whispers, no, you are broke, you do not argue. You simply turn away from the whisper and return to the scene of abundance within. If you have declared, I am loved, and evidence shows coldness, you do not despair. You lay your head on the pillow at night and re-enter the inner embrace, the inner warmth, the inner assurance. You persist, not in asking, but in being. Now, I want you to see something very clearly. The world is yourself pushed out. This means the people who annoy you, the situations that frustrate you, the patterns that repeat, these are mirrors, not masters. If you feel overlooked, you will meet neglect. If you feel small, you will meet dominance. If you feel cursed, you will meet repeated loss. Change the feeling of self and the reflections must change. You may say, but what of injustice? What of all the things done to me? I do not deny they appeared. I do not deny they hurt. But I tell you, as long as you define yourself by them, you hold yourself there. You are not what they did. You are what you assume yourself to be now. So tonight, you will take back the pen. You will write a new name on your inner heart. I am fortunate. I am favored. I am the one to whom good comes easily. I am the one for whom doors open. Say it, feel it. Let the old identity of unlucky, ignored, always last, fall away like an old coat. Do not be surprised if certain people fall away too. Some mirrors are too attached to your old face to reflect the new. Do not mourn. As you change state, new people, new circumstances will appear, drawn to your new vibration as iron to a magnet. Do not chase. Assume. Now we return to tonight, the night of decision. The night your word becomes law to your world. You have listened, you have imagined, you have felt. Now comes the sacred moment of declaration. You may choose one area, wealth, love, health, freedom, or you may choose your entire identity. I invite you to choose the highest, not one small fix, but a new self. Again, grow still. Let the breath slow. Feel the weight of your body supported. Inwardly, see yourself not as you have been, but as the one for whom everything desired is now normal. You are in a state where money flows, love is present, health is natural, and life feels aligned. You do not see all the details. You sense the atmosphere. There is a quiet dignity about you, a calm joy, a deep certainty that you belong in good. Feel it. Let it fill your chest. Let it soften your face. When you feel even faintly that new self, speak within yourself, I am that. And now from that state, say slowly with reverence, as if the universe itself is listening. Tonight, I assume my true identity. I am wealth in form and experience. I am love given and received. I am radiant health and quiet strength. I am guided, provided for, and upheld. What I have assumed now must appear. It must. It must. I do not ask how. The bridge is already forming. I live in the end. I rest in the finished work. From this moment, I walk as the one who has already received. So it is. Do not rush these words. Do not speak them as a formula. Let each phrase be a stone placed in the foundation of your new world. If another sentence rises from your heart that feels truer to your own desire, say that. You might say, tonight I declare that I am free from all lack. Tonight I declare that I am the beloved, the successful, the whole. Tonight I declare that everything in my world gently rearranges to reflect my new state. Whatever the exact wording, the essence is this. You are already the one you long to be. You do not move toward it. You move from it. When you rise from this quiet time, rise differently. Walk across the room as one who is now wealthy, even if nothing looks changed. Speak to others as one who is loved, even if they have not yet caught up. Care for your body as one who is healthy, even if symptoms remain. These are not games. They are acts of fidelity to your assumption. Life must bend. Circumstances must bow. Facts must rearrange because you have touched the root. You have changed state. Tonight you have said something in the silence. You have decreed who you are. Your words may be forgotten by the mind in days to come, but the state remains. It will call to itself every person, place, event necessary to reveal itself in time and space. Trust this. Trust it more than you trust the evidence of absence. When doubt comes, and it may, do not panic. Gently come back to the inner scene. Reaffirm, I am that. If an old memory surfaces, revise it. If fear of the future arises, replace it with an inner vision of success already attained. Be patient with yourself, but ruthless with your inner story. You are not a victim of fate. You are not waiting on life. Life is waiting on you to assume. Tonight you have assumed. The shift has begun. Silently and visibly, certainly. You may not feel lightning, you may not see fireworks, but something has moved at the level of cause. And cause is all that matters. In days, weeks, or months, you will look back at this night and see it as the turning point. The night you stopped begging and began declaring. The night you stopped seeing yourself as the one who lacks and began seeing yourself as the one who is. So I say to you now, gently and firmly, it is done. It is done. It is done. Walk in that. Sleep in that. Return to that. Say this tonight from the depths of your being, and watch as reality, slow but obedient, reshapes itself around your new name. You are the operant power. You are the one who imagines. You are the one who assumes. And what you have assumed tonight can no longer remain only within. It must press itself out as fact, not someday, not maybe. Now, in the unseen, it is already so. Rest in that certainty. Let your last inner word before sleep be your new identity, calmly affirmed. Then close the day. Turn your face inward to the finished scene and surrender to sleep as the one who already is. The shift has begun. You will see it.